Hey guys, welcome back. Well, we're back working on the 28D teardown. Also, we've got the 29 GP back in the garage because we are working on fixing the leak from the lower water pipe coming off the back of the lower radiator tank. We had a leak coming from this area, so we're going to put a new seal on that, which means we got to put a new seal on that because we had to take that off of here. So we'll make a new gasket for this, new gasket for the lower pipe, get the radiator back on, and then we got to fix or figure out the governor issue. I'm not real sure what's going on with that, but we'll get it figured out. Anyways, back to the 28D. So what I'm working on now, I went and removed all the nuts from the axle housing. It's loose, but I don't want to take anything apart yet, because I have to take this sprocket off the inside. And I'm not real certain how this all comes apart, but I know there's a master link in the drive chain with a cotter pin. So we got to get that off, get the chain out. I'm going to take the shifting lever out, which should just be this bolt here, and then the fork, or the, I guess it would be the shift fork, comes off the end. There's probably a key in that. There's a spring here. So we'll go ahead and remove that, slide the shift lever out, then we'll look for the master link in the chain. Actually, before we do that, we're going to take all the nuts off the sprocket and then remove the master link from the chain, take the chain out, and then we should be able to remove the axle. So let's get the shift lever out. Half my tools are over on the GP and half of them are over here. So probably a 9/16, oh no. Maybe 5/8 on this one. You know, for a guy that's got ratcheting wrenches, I sure do like to use the non-ratcheting wrenches. I cheated though. On the axle bolts, I broke them loose with a breaker bar, and then I used my air impact to go the rest of the way. There must be a burr on the end of this. Probably be better if I didn't have my hands in the way of the camera here. Let's try this way. Still going to be in the way, but I knew I was going to do that. At least there's no gear oil in it. Might have to separate that out a little bit. I don't have any cotter pins holding it on, so maybe a brass drift and a hammer just to get things moving. There we go. Here's the fork. Here's the key. Just trying not to lose all my wrenches down in the case. Spring. Oh, look at that. There is another spring on there. So, there's a spring also on the back side, and there's a cotter pin here that keeps the spring there. So, these two springs essentially center the shifting shaft. See if I can get a hold of this thing here. All right. This thing just does not want to come out. There we go. Should be able to pull this out. Okay, shift levers out. Now, we'll have to move on to the nuts for the sprocket. Let's see, I gotta figure out a way to keep that from moving. So how can I keep that from rotating? Maybe I can lock these. Okay, I can't do it like that. I'm gonna have to might have to turn the camera off while I figure this out. Oh, that worked. All right, I'm going to go through and loosen all these, and we'll be back with you. Okay, we got the master link out. Now we got the chain out. See, how do we get that out? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that comes off. I do not have a clue. Am I supposed to take these bolts out? I don't know. Whoop, there we go. That answers that question. It's really trial and error for me. I don't even... Oh. You don't realize how deep these rear ends are until you reach down inside one. Now, I believe we got to take these blocks out. These are the keeper blocks for the axle housing. Similar to like a wheel clamp. See if I can just lift this out of here. There we go. Whew, that's not light. Okay, well, one down. Oh man. I don't know if these were running loose or if, well, they don't seem that loose, but maybe those are machined in there or cast in there. I'll show you guys what I'm seeing in a minute here. Try to keep all this stuff organized. Okay. Okay guys, we got both axles off. I did the other one off camera to save some time. So both axles off, sprockets are out, chains are out. I also removed the brake band, which is just a single stud that comes through the case right here with a nut on it. And then it wraps around the, I guess this would be the differential assembly. Wraps around here and then connects to this handle, which goes through the side of the case here. And it's just held in place by a cotter pin. And there's a journal or a band loop. If you guys can see that there, there's a loop right there that goes around this portion of the lever. Essentially all it is a parking brake or emergency brake. It just locks the differential from moving, but it really, I wouldn't trust it on a steep hill, let's just say that. So this brake band was completely wore through on the bottom side, so there was nothing left of it. But before we try to tackle this, I'm going to do something. So I've got a couple of candles here. They're just a cheap, dollar store pack of candles, birthday candles. I've got 2 broken bolts right here. There's one here, but I can't grab that with a vice grip. These ones I should be able to get with a vice grip. I'm going to heat both of these up, and then I'm going to melt candle wax on them. Or I should say I'm going to heat around the bolts. Then I'll melt candle wax on them, and we should be able to turn these out. It worked earlier on Tony's GP on the radiator. We had a broken bolt in the radiator, so let's see if we can't get one or both of those out just to waste some oxyacetylene. Again, this is just a parts tractor, so I really don't care if there's a couple broken bolts in it. But we're just going to try it for the sake of YouTube. All right, let's see what we can do. Might as well put this one back over here. Now I'm going to let this cool completely before I even attempt to loosen that. Well guys, made some progress. We are pretty much stripped on this side except for obviously the first reduction gear, but that's got to come out with this shaft. So got the axles out, sprockets out, the chains out, the parking brake out. We took the first reduction gear cover off, Obviously we got the clutch off. That came out without too much trouble. Gear shift lever is out. Let's see, what else did we do? That's pretty much it, I think. But we got quite a bit done for tonight. All we have left is to get the flywheel off, mains and crankshaft out, idler gear for the governor, camshaft and gear, cam followers and the shaft for that, oil pump and the lines that run to the mains, and then our shifting gears and our bottom shaft will have to come out. But it sounds like I'm listing off a lot of stuff, but really there's not much left. Oh, I know. The wax did not work on these two. So I'm not sure, maybe we need to heat this up again and maybe try again. But I really don't want to destroy these nubs that are sticking out, because worst case scenario, you know, if I want to, I could weld nuts on top of here and maybe that would get them to spin out. But we'll try heating them up again at some other time and using some more wax, see if that works. But as of right now, it didn't work on these two. So better luck next time, right? I think that's pretty much it. I just spent some time cleaning up, and the first reduction gear cover was full of mouse nests again. If you guys can see all the rust in this area, this was probably full to about here with mouse nests. So about a third of the way up the gear was filled with mouse nest. But overall, these bearings seem very good. They're quiet, nothing is loose. So that's really promising, just in case we need some bearings for the other one. Yeah, so made a lot of progress tonight. Hopefully next time we'll be able to just finish this out. We'll get this case out of here and leave all the parts set aside, and we'll bring the 27 John Deere D case in. And that's the one, obviously, we are building. This is just a parts tractor. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last video, but I think this thing was assembled at some point in its past as a piece of yard art, because there was a lot of things just, it seemed like it was bolted together quickly, either to get it out there or whatever. So regardless, it's going to be a good parts tractor. So that's all I've got. I know I didn't show everything as far as wrenching goes, but a lot of the stuff that I didn't show on this one, I showed on the 27D teardown thus far. And we're going to see it all going back together. So don't worry, guys. It's going to be a good one. So these things are incredibly, excuse me, incredibly simple, but there's little nuances that are just very interesting about them. And we'll talk about those when we go back together, but that's going to do it for me. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for wrenching with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I think this is only episode 5 for this tractor, so onwards to episode 6. Hopefully that'll be the last one of the teardown for the 28. So we'll see you guys in the next one.